Hi, I'm Brad Rodu, and for this session, I'm going to tell you a story that I've never disclosed publicly until now. It's about my introduction into the world of tobacco research and policy. It happened in 1994. Now, until that time, I was a practicing oral and maxillofacial pathologist at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. I had a variety of activities. I made diagnoses on about 3,000 biopsies each year under the microscope. I also participated in head and neck cancer care clinics, and I rounded on hospital patients with cancer, including lung cancer patients. I saw hundreds of cases, both under the microscope and in the hospital and in the clinics. That's why I was really enthusiastic about finding another way for smokers to quit. I noticed through all of this experience that smokeless tobacco was not a cause of the head and neck cancers that I was seeing. In fact, almost all of the cancer patients had either smoked and or drank to excess. Hardly any of them, in fact, none of them, had chewed or dipped American smokeless products. Now, there was one exception, and that is the older lady from the South who had used powder dry snuff. That turned out to be a higher risk product, and that's a whole different story. But men who dipped and chewed were not getting cancer. So I decided in the early 1990s to conduct more research in this topic. And by 1994, I had my first 3 publications in press. The alternative to smoking strategy that I published in the American Journal of Medical Sciences brought a lot of attention, including an appearance on a national morning show. However, it also brought a ton of criticism. That's the topic of a GFN'5 that I submitted for this meeting. You can take a look at that and you can see all of the criticisms that are now existing for e-cigarettes. They were leveled against smokeless tobacco. One of the criticisms specifically was that this whole idea of a safer tobacco product was unethical. That led to a communication from the director of the U.S. National Cancer Institute to our Cancer Institute director at UAB. They claimed that this was unethical, and they triggered a year-long investigation by the Office of Protection from Research Risk, which has the ability and has accomplished a shutdown of all university research that is NIH funded. So this was a very severe challenge, not only to me, but to UAB. That investigation from 1994 to 1995 came up with no significant findings at all. I thought the issue was done, but then the issue really started. My dean decided to conduct another war. He accused me without any basis whatsoever of Medicare and insurance fraud in the conduct of my biopsy service, which had about 3,000 specimens a year and made about a gross of about $200,000. The dean, again, without any evidence, made this accusation to higher university administration. They had no choice but to conduct a systemic audit of all of my activities. They invited me to a meeting to discuss this activity. And at that time, they put yellow police tape across my entire office suite. They collected all of my computers and all of my records and took them to a sealed university office and conducted a months-long intensive audit. The dean dissolved my department, and he fired all of my staff. He destroyed my reputation by talking about his accusations throughout the dental and medical community in Alabama and across the Southeast. I knew that I had not had any activity of an unethical nature, but I didn't know if I had made any mistakes. Finally, after several months, the university attorney came to my office and said, "Brad, I have 2 words for your audit: squeaky clean." After that, it was about 1997, I settled with the university. The dean resigned his position and ultimately left the university. In 1999, the new administration gave approval to my first unrestricted grant from a tobacco manufacturer. And for the past 23 years since then, I've had support both at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, and the University of Louisville. It has allowed me to conduct my research. As you can expect, this was quite the introduction to my tobacco research career. But at the start, even before all of this happened, I had decided that I would forego the usual faculty practice of ever accepting of any remuneration outside the university. So I made the decision to live on a university professor's salary and retire on a university professor's pension. And I've upheld that promise to myself ever since. So that's the story I wanted to tell. Thank you very much.